I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Few words about Kirtan. See, no religion becomes yours because you are born into it. Anything will become yours only when you discover it. Please understand. I am so happy I have discovered the religion Hinduism. Not because I am born into it. I have discovered it. Still I remember my family people, the family in which I am born and brought up, they will go to temple to assist the temple treasury before the festival starts. Means wiping all those gold jewels, cleaning all those silver vessels. So as a small kid, they took me also to help. Actually, that cloth, white cloth with which they are wiping the jewels and vessels, I have to constantly soak it in the water and keep it out. I have to dip it in the water and keep it out. That's my work. Then they will take it and wipe, clean and all that. First time when I entered the treasury, I've entered hundreds or maybe thousands of times after that. That is different. I was shocked to see the kind of items. And I wanted to tell you, only 30% are even used once in a year. Only 30% is used even once a year. 70% never gets touched. Never gets touched. Huge lamps, silver lamps, tons and tons of the puja vessels. I tell you, only when I myself discovered the joy in me, bliss in me, the doubts I had whether I'll be able to evolve myself started melting. When my doubts on me melted, only then I discovered that religion is a reality. This worship is a reality, not waste of wealth or human resource. I realized this is the best and only thing should be done by human beings and all the wealth accumulated by human beings. The time and money of the human beings, time and money and talent, time, treasure, talent of human beings, not only the best, the only way it should be spent is this religion. Please understand. I don't want you to miss this link. I want you to catch the link exactly. I saw so much of time, treasure, talent is being used on temple rituals and everything. Then something happened. I myself discovered the joy, bliss in me. When I discovered that bliss, doubts I had about me melted down. Actually, the doubts I had on the tradition was nothing but doubts I had on me. It is not that whether the religion is right or wrong. It is like, will it be useful for me or not? I really tell you, all the atheists are not suffering with a doubt towards the tradition or religion. They are suffering with a doubt towards themselves. It is SDHD. When I discovered, when the doubts on me melted down, when I saw the joy, it clicked that religion is real. Only that adds so much joy, causeless, reasonless joy, bliss. Then all the questions, whether our TTT, time, treasure, talent should be used on it, all that disappeared. I felt not only this is the best way to spend our time, treasure, talent, this is the only way we should be spending it. And you can see that decision only is getting executed in our whole Sangha. The only place, still I am not able to move myself out of the decision. Still, the only area in which I spend time, treasure, talent, everything is temples, 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 temples. All my Srimahans are somehow trying to make me spend some time in some other departments, like enriching, reaching out and all that. I do all that for little time, as long as these people are around me. When all of them leave, when I am left alone, I am back again to temples only. Thinking about what other temples we can build, what other ways we can make more deities, what other ways we can make more jewelries, what other ways more beautifully we can present the signs of temples to the world. Because I discovered it. Please understand. Till you discover, it doesn't become part of you. I tell you, any religion, any tradition never becomes part of you just because you are born into it or it got introduced to you in your life. Even if it was introduced, it will never become part of you. Only when you discover it, it becomes part of you. Only when you discover it, it becomes part of you. The Hindu tradition did not become part of me because I am born into it. It did not become part of me because I got introduced to it. Actually, when I got introduced, I only had so much resistance. I was wondering. The way I got introduced also did not make Hinduism as my own. The way I discovered it, that made Hinduism as my own, tradition as my own. Now the punchline, don't miss. The method which really helped me to discover Hinduism, the joy of the religious tradition, was Kirtan. The Kirtan, I tell you, I came out of the treasury area. The temple is too big actually. So once you come out of the treasury area, to come out of the temple, you may have to walk almost 1 kilometer. So I was slowly walking to go out of the temple. That time I saw some 2-3 old men, 2-3 old ladies, some 4-5 people sitting in the corner of the temple and singing some of the verses of the great Shiva saints. Even though these people were very old, such joy I can see in their body movements. And one small young kid, I still remember, he was having a dolak, mridangam in his body and jumping, dancing with all wrong tune. His tune was no way matching with their singing, and their singing was no way matching with his mridangam playing. He was jumping. And one of the old lady, she was very playfully beating him and saying, "Hey, beat properly, otherwise at least keep quiet." Somehow I saw that scene, it was very cute. The scene was very cute. I just thought I'll see what happens. See, 2-3 things are in the DNA of Indians. One, whether it is a auto or car or a taxi or a bus or a train or a flight, they will run and catch the window seat. Second, anything happening in the road or a public place, we will not leave that place and we will not help anybody. We will neither leave that place nor we will attend to what is happening. Whether there is a fight or an accident or a murder or some good or bad thing is going on or whatever, we will neither leave that place nor we will get involved into it. We will stand around and watch. These are all the DNA of Indians. These all are there in our DNA. So as usual, my regular DNA, I went and stood there just to see what is going on. And in the 2-3 old men and old women singing and this boy playing, I smelled the kind of a sincerity. Especially still I remember one old man. Later on I found out his name. His name was Panduranganar. Very elderly person. Very highly devoted to Mahadeva. Person with so much of sincerity towards Shiva tradition. And he was singing very deeply from his very being. So, like an onlooker, I stood there. It took only few minutes for me to see his sincerity. I don't know whether his such a sincere bio-memory got transmitted to me, or I just got involved in that music. Actually, I can't even claim I got involved into that music because it was not a great music. That small kid is beating all wrong tune, and this old lady telling, "Hey, stop. Either you do it properly or don't do." The scene was not like a organized. No, it is not like organized. And this old man, whom I am naming Panduranga, his eyes are not even open to see this whole mess going around him. And his eyes are closed and he is just singing. Maybe the sincerity I felt in him, or his deep devotion, his commitment, which came out in the words, caught me. I tell you, I was standing slowly, suddenly, that old person, he opened his eyes and he was continuing to chant. I am trying to describe the scene as it happened. He saw me, and after a few minutes, he told, "Hey, come on, sing." There was no resistance from my side, or there was no like, oh, I don't know, it's new, nothing. See, they were chanting some Devaram. In between, you have to add 2 lines. Shiva 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 Shivaya Namo, Shiva 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 Shivaya Namo. And then they will again chant some verses. This is the charana. And because I heard the charana twice, and I picked up and I started singing the charana with them. It was like a... Now I am trying to rewind and see exactly what has happened for me to be so overwhelmed and change my ideas and thinking, and even to feel that I have discovered it. I have no logical step-by-step way of conveying it to you. I can only say this much, that something has clicked with that simple kirtan. And I went on and on being with them, going around. They started moving around the temple singing. I also went with them. And then they started swinging the hands and body along with their chanting. I also went with them. By the time they finished everything and came out of the temple, it was at least 2-3 hours. But when I came out, I was no more the earlier person. Something has happened. The joy opened up in me. I know I have discovered the joy of being Shiva's devotee. The joy of being a Shiva Bhakta. I tell you, Kirtan, singing and dancing, the name of the Lord, most easiest way you can discover the trance of being Shiva's devotee, Shiva Bhakta. Understand, Kirtan is the easiest way you can discover the trance of being Shiva Bhakta. Shivoham process is the easiest way you can discover the trance of being Shiva. Till people get to Shivoham process, let us reach the Kirtan to them. You may not be able to give Shivoham to them, but you can give Kirtan to them. I tell you, all our devotees, disciples, followers, kotaris, mahants, tanedars, everyone should learn Kirtan. Every morning in your area, you should go around singing the Kirtan, involving more and more people in your local temples, centers, or the local streets, enriching people, sharing the joy of Shiva Bhakti to people, to the world, enriching the joy of Shiva Bhakti to the world. Everywhere, all over the world, every city should vibrate with the Sivanama Sankirtana. Share the trance of being a devotee of Shiva to people. Joy of being Shiva Bhakta, Shiva's devotee. Then naturally they will come to the space, joy of being Shiva. Joy of being Shiva. We should reach out to masses everywhere. Millions and millions of people singing and dancing Mahadeva's name. Singing and dancing Shiva's name. Discovering the joy of being Shiva's devotee. I tell you, when I came out of the treasury room from the temple, I was so filled with doubt, question, anger, all kinds of SDHD. Why is so much of resource being wasted? All these could have been given it away to people. I tell you, even if all that was given away to people, people will not be rich. If the Kirtan was given to people, people will be blissful and rich. Only then I realized it's the responsibility of the king to make this huge infrastructure and give what need to be given to the people. They have done it right. They have done it right. Yes, if you distribute all the gold, silver, everything to the people, it will all be good for one day. In 1 year, they will all be back to the same poverty, suffering, same mental setup. But distribute the joy of being Shiva Bhakta, it will not be same again after 1 year, their life. It will be evolving, evolving, evolving and raising. So I tell you, it's a responsibility of all our Sangha members to teach the world joy of being Shiva Bhakta, joy of being Shiva's devotee. We have to take more steps and responsibility to spread this joy of Kirtan, Shivanama Sankirtanam. Jnanasambandar, the great saint, 2800 years before he sings, Adi Padi Annamalai Kai Thola Odipom Namadu Ulla Vinaigale. When you sing and dance and worship Arunachala, all the incompletions in our being will run away. I am going to declare next year as the year of Nama Sankirtana. This month is Margazhi month. I think day before yesterday it started. 3 days before it started. 16th it started. It's a month of Nama Sankirtan. All over the Tamil Nadu, they will be singing usually Shiva's name in the morning, go around and enrich the world with the Shiva Bhakti. For us, not only Margazhi, this Margazhi month we will do specifically, but I think I wanted to dedicate 1 year specially to focus our efforts on reaching out to the world. The Shivanama Sankirtana, it has all the benefits. You will discover the trance of being Shiva's devotee, and you will lose weight because activity is involved, walking and jumping, dancing, all the action is involved. You will become healthy, you will inhale more oxygen, you will inhale more joy. You will enrich the whole world with Shiva Bhakti. It's a Sankirtana. You can't compare the power of Sankirtan to spread the joy. Nothing else can be compared with Sankirtan. The easiest way of spreading the Shivabodha, the trance of being Shiva, the joy of Mahadeva, Sankirtan is the best way to teach and share the joy of Shivabodha. Next year, at least in 1,000 cities all over the world, we will make Shivanama Sankirtana happen. 1,000 cities is nothing. All you guys, if you take the decision, each one of you guys will be able to conduct at least in 10 cities. 400 of you are here. Sorry, 430. 430, if you do it even in 10 cities, 4,300 cities already done. 1,000 cities is nothing. Let everywhere Shivanama happen. Let everywhere Sankirtana happen. Let people discover the joy of Shivabodha. Let people discover Shivabodha. Only then it becomes theirs. The streets of New York, the streets of Washington DC, the streets of New Delhi, streets of Kuala Lumpur, we can make Shivanama Sankirtana resonate. Let's take this as a bold step, reaching out to the world, spreading Shivabodha, joy of being Shiva, joy of being Shiva Bhakta. See, even if you say joy of being Shiva can only be given by the master, joy of being Shiva Bhakta can be given by you guys. Because what you have, you can give. You have the joy of being Shiva Bhakta. Share that with the world. Then bring them here. Then I'll give the joy of being Shiva. Understand? Give Shiva Bhakta Bodha to people. I'll give Shiva Bodha itself to people. It is possible. All around the world, the Kirtan should happen. I can tell you that one session of Kirtan of 2-3 hours with that great devotee, Panduranganar, something has opened up in my being. Still, when I am left alone with me, when I am in my car or in my room, I listen to those songs only. Those songs by the great Shiva Bhaktas. Shiva's devotees. Any state of inner space you may be, their words have the power to transmit you to their space, to their inner space. Their Shivabodha, their joy was so much. Actually, their words are like a containers in which they poured their joy and sealed it and sent it to us, all of us, with no expiry date. No expiry date. Their words are the containers in which they filled the trance of being Shiva's devotee, the Shivabodha, joy of being Shiva Bhakta, and sealed that and sent it to all of us, which has no expiry date and which doesn't end or which doesn't get diluted. Even if millions and millions of people drink, it never becomes dry. It goes on oozing out. Actually, the more people drink, it becomes more joyful, more ecstatic. No expiry date, and it doesn't get empty, and it doesn't get diluted. We should also create kirtans in as many languages as possible. As many languages as possible. Kirtan is not restricted to just to Sanskrit or the traditional Indian languages like Bengali, Tamil. We should create kirtans in English, French, Spanish. All languages are sacred. All languages which are used by human beings to transfer ideas, concepts, share feelings, all of them are sacred. So we should use all languages and create kirtans to spread these sacred sentiments. You don't even have to make big, complicated verses. Just simple name of the Lord, name of Mahadeva is enough. The different names. Even those different names, if you start singing and dancing, that is enough. You will radiate the Shivabodha. It is actually that person's sincerity, his devotion, The way he was standing with closed eyes and tears in the corner of his eyes, the way he opened his eyes and started singing and dancing, the whole that just did something in me. That just did something in me. I wanted each one of you as the ambassadors of Mahadeva, Shiva Ganas, go round and teach the joy of Shiva Bhakti and make the space for people to discover the joy of Shiva Bhakti. And bring them. I'll help them to discover joy of being Shiva. I'll make them discover the Shivabodha itself. Essence of today's satsang. Spread, spread, spread the joy of Shivabodha. Spread Shivabodha and make a space for everyone to discover Shivabodha. As a Shiva Ganas, all of us are responsible to spread Shivabodha and help people to discover Shivabodha. Help people to discover the experience of Shivoham. With this, we'll move to the next schedule. Today we will be continuing to have Sri Yantra Mahamandala process. Sri Yantra process. Today we will be working with the exact sound of Sri Yantra called Shodasi Mantra, 16 syllable. There is a 16 sounds specifically related to this Sri Yantra, this lines, this mandala. I myself formally got initiated into the Sri Vidya tradition, and I should tell you, this is the only upasana sadhana I myself practiced and achieved enlightenment. Please understand, I have done tons of sadhanas. I have done tons of sadhanas, practices, tapas. All that is to verify the validity and make it as my personal experience to teach others. But the Sri Vidya is the one and only sadhana which I used to discover my own enlightenment. Understand? As a clear definition, if I have to be clearly defined, in the history it has to be clearly recorded, Paramahamsa Nithyananda achieved enlightenment through Sri Vidya Sampradaya. That is the fact. I may be teaching thousands of yoga, kriya. I may be teaching thousands of different practices, meditations, thousands of things. All that I made it as my experience, only then I am sharing it with all of you. But the core practice which made me achieve enlightenment, that itself is Sri Vidya tradition and the 16 sounds. I should not use the word syllables, that is too small word. In Sanskrit we have a word matrika. The sound is called as mother. The word matru means mother and sound, both. Still now, in my whole life, please understand, this very sound which made me enlightened, I have not shared with anybody in the whole world other than one person. Still now I have not given even to my sannyasis. Today I am going to share with all of you. From my mouth, from me physically, no one has received this Shodasi. I have not given it to anybody. Even though I had so many requests, I'll give 13 letter. Sometimes I have even given 14, but never all the 16. Today I am going to give you guys, all of you, all the 16, the Shodasi. Still now I have not even given to my sannyasis. Many of my sannyasis have asked me, Swamiji, give us that Shodasi mantra. I said later. Today the time has come. Not only I will give, I will program it in your system, where your whole biomemory, muscle memory goes on vibrating with Shodasi. Our Bididi, that Devi Nithyanandeshwari, she was made with Shodasi. Actually, I have put that whole Shodasi as a metal into that mold and made the Devi. The Devi was made by Shodasi. Shodasi means that 16 syllable. That sound was used as the source to make that metal vibrate. See, when I did the Prana Pratishta, I used this sound to make the deity vibrate and become a goddess. She is embodiment of Shodasi. That is why you will see such beauty in that form. No beauty can be compared with our Bididi Nithyanandeshwari and her face and her, the way, the grace she radiates. Because she is vibrating with Shodasi. Today you will all be vibrating with Shodasi. The first effect will be, you will all become beautiful and graceful. Actually, see, the people of Sri Vidya should be very beautiful and graceful is one of the basic requirement even in the Sampradaya. Even in the Sampradaya, it's a spiritual requirement. You are beautiful and graceful. Because that very Shodasi makes that happen. It's the quality of that Shodasi. It makes you beautiful and graceful. So the first effect will be, you will all become beautiful and graceful. Because Sri Vidya Sampradaya is Advaita based. The Advaitic Sampradaya. It is you become Devi. You become Mahadeva. You will become beautiful and graceful. Even if you are thinking you are already beautiful and graceful. There are some people thinking that way, moving around. We'll work on Sri Vidya, Shodasi, the 16 mothers, 16 sound mothers. In Sri Vidya tradition, the sound is considered as mother. That's why the word Matruka means mother and sound. For both, we use the same word Matruka. Light is father, sound is mother. Line is father, means that mandala, Sri Chakra. The line is father. And the sound, Shodasi, we are going to use, that is mother. When both unite, you as Shivoham is born. Let's get ready to work with mother and father, Sri Yantra and Shodasi. So, I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching and causing eternal bliss. Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.